Have you ever heard something, a voice maybe buried within the music that wasn't supposed to be there? Something that made you question whether your ears were deceiving you, or if something was truly wrong with the world around you? I hadn't, not until that night. I'm Sarah, and I'm not someone who scares easily. I have a stable job, a quiet apartment, and a life that, on the surface, seemed perfectly normal. I didn't think much of it when I downloaded a new playlist from a music app. The track list was a mix of soft, indie tunes and a few instrumental pieces, some ambient noise and quiet melodies to soothe me after a long day. I was excited to listen to it as I relaxed in my apartment after a busy day of work, curled up on the couch with a cup of tea. The first few tracks were nice, exactly what I expected. Soothing and peaceful, the kind of music that helped me unwind. I didn't think there was anything strange about it, but as the playlist went on, something started to feel off. I couldn't quite place it at first. It was so faint that I thought I was imagining things. There was a whisper, just barely audible, hidden within the music. It was as if the sound was beneath the layers of instruments and vocals, too soft to hear clearly but enough to make my heart race. I pulled my earbuds out and looked around, half expecting someone to be there. But the apartment was empty, quiet, save for the soft hum of the music. I thought it was a fluke, so I shrugged it off. Maybe it was a weird glitch with the song. I clicked next to skip to the next track. But then it happened again, another whisper, clearer this time but still indistinct. It was almost like a voice calling to me, so soft and distant I couldn't make out the words. I paused the music and checked my phone. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The track was playing fine, the app wasn't malfunctioning, and I didn't see anything wrong with the playlist. So I pressed play again, dismissing it as some weird interference. The second I hit play, it happened again. But this time it was louder. The whisper was more distinct, more deliberate. I froze, my blood running cold as I listened carefully. It wasn't just a random sound anymore, it was like someone was trying to speak to me through the music. I pulled my headphones out, my mind racing. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but there was something deeply unsettling about it. I stared at the phone screen, wondering if it was a trick of the app or if the music had been altered somehow. I hit skip, hoping that would fix it, but the next track wasn't any better. The whispers were there again, now a bit clearer. I felt my skin crawl as I listened to the voice growing louder and more insistent. "You can't escape," it whispered. I felt my heart skip a beat. I pulled the headphones off, my hands trembling, but the voice continued even without the music. It was like it was embedded in my thoughts now, creeping into the silence of my mind. I thought I was imagining it, so I tried to calm myself down. I needed to take a break, to step away from the music. But as I stood up, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The voice wasn't just in the music anymore. It was inside my head. I didn't know how to explain it, but the whispers started to follow me, moving from one song to the next, growing louder and more specific, more personal. They weren't just random murmurs, they were speaking my thoughts back to me. I didn't want to hear it, but I couldn't stop myself from listening. The next song, the voice said, "You're not good enough." I gasped, the words striking me like a punch in the gut. I hadn't said those words aloud to anyone, not even to myself. The voice kept going. "They all think you're weak. You're going to fail." My mind reeled. How did it know that? How did it know my fears, my insecurities? I pulled the headphones out again, but the whispers followed me. It didn't matter what song I skipped to, they were there, becoming louder, more insistent. It wasn't just the playlist now, it was my thoughts, my deepest fears, coming to life in the form of a voice that wasn't mine. "They all know you're pretending," the voice said, "and one day they'll leave you behind." I couldn't take it anymore. My hands shook as I fumbled with the phone, trying to stop the music, but the app wouldn't respond. The music kept playing, track after track, the whispers growing louder and louder, until they felt like they were right next to me, breathing down my neck. "They'll see through you," the voice whispered. "You're already losing them." I looked around the room, feeling like I wasn't alone anymore. The apartment I had always found comfort in now felt suffocating. The walls felt too close, the air too thick. I stumbled backward, looking for the door, for some escape, but the whispers were everywhere. "Don't you get it? They'll never stay," it said. "You'll be alone forever." In a panic, I grabbed my jacket and ran outside. The air felt colder than usual, the world around me seeming more distant and hazy, as though the entire reality I knew had warped around me. The whispers followed me, echoing in my mind even as the music was no longer playing. I thought I was free of it, but no, the voice was still there, always a step behind, growing clearer and more relentless. I tried to tell myself it was all in my head, but it didn't stop. The voice was part of me now, feeding off my thoughts and fears, knowing exactly how to push my buttons. And worse, it wasn't just replaying my thoughts anymore. It was controlling them, manipulating me. It knew how to make me feel like I was losing control, like everything was slipping through my fingers. Then it said something that stopped me dead in my tracks. It's too late. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. The voice wasn't just speaking to me anymore, it was speaking the truth, a truth I hadn't wanted to face. I had been changing, letting my fears control me, letting them guide my every decision. The whispers had revealed everything I had been hiding from, every insecurity I had buried deep inside. And now they were becoming me. I tried to run, tried to escape, but there was no escape from the voice anymore. It had become a part of me, a part of my mind, a part of my soul. The whispers weren't just from the playlist anymore. They were from inside me. And now the whispers have grown quiet. But I know they're still there, waiting for me to slip up again. The music, the whispers, they never really stopped. They've just been waiting, watching. And soon they'll find someone new. They always find someone new.